an upset to get here, losing to Sonics in winners, but then fighting his way through losers. Some nice placements here for you. 5th at Low Tide City this year, or last year rather. It is 2025 now. Just making a lot of really great upsets and making a lot of top 8s at these majors. Very exciting to see. Definitely on the come up. I think was ranked like 42 in NA or something like that. Like
oh my gosh, yeah,
early 40s. Yeah, so really good stuff to him. 89% win rate. These are crazy.
89%.
Making me feel bad about myself, guys.
I wish I could ever get close to that. 89%. Wow. But yeah, you can see the bracket path here. So starting from winners there at the bottom, just 3-1, 3-2, 3-0 on Not Braden, which is crazy to get further in the bracket and start getting those 3-0s. Was able to beat Jaja 3-2, and I know that was going to be like a big sticking point because they had a pretty tough go at it back at Diamond Dust where Jaja took it, but was able to win that game 5. Lost to Sonics 0-3, but I mean, hey, Sonics top 5 on Earth.
What are you going to do?
What do you do? And then sadly wins over Doorstop 3-0. They are obviously on the same sponsor, friends, and training partners, so you know they played a million times. But meanwhile, let's take a quick look over here at Onin. So still able to get 9th at Supernova 2024 and previously at 2023 was also in that top 8. 3rd at Collision 2024, 9th at Port Priority, 4th at Crown the 3rd. I mean, Onin's just been on a tear. So for really like the last, I would say 3 years now, just about. So not surprised to see them here in this top 8 at all. Such an incredible player. Only went down, it looks like, to AK. I was wondering how that set was going to go. It was right as I was leaving breakfast, so I didn't get to see how that set was going to go. But 3-0 over Danny, Morley, Caden, 3-1. Was able to beat Sind as well. I was wondering if Sind was going to be able to make it in that top 8, but unfortunately I think was just out of it. But yeah, so far has only lost to Apollo Kage. And I was saying I think AK can win that matchup because I know it. I feel like AK can do it as one of those, but it looks like AK is going to be on the winner side of Winter Semi, so we'll get that later. But for the first time, oh, do they have a head-to-head here? I don't think they played before. Either way, we're going to be getting into this in just a moment. Bayonetta versus Steve. So I know you have had to cast a lot of Bayonetta, and I have as well. How do you feel about her against Steve?
I feel like just having Witch Time as a move against the minecart could give you a lot of opportunities for those punishes. I think Bayonetta's just really good at punishing people for jumping too, so if we're seeing a lot of aerials from Steve, that could be a great opportunity for Geist to get a lot of those combos. I think also having the recoveries that she does will make it a lot easier to deal with a lot of the ledge traps that we saw Onin use later or earlier in bracket. So just having those options and then having a lot of like large aerials to break down these walls. And I think that Geist as a player is just very patient and very good at just waiting for the best opportunity to strike. So I think that I think it seems like a decent matchup, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't really seen it played out super often, but Onin just a very strong player in general. So
Jesus Christ, the first Uber's already going crazy, almost sending Geist off stage. And you're right, her recovery is going to give her a lot of different chances to make it back to the stage, and she doesn't have to worry as much about blocks off stage because she has so many good options here. But that aside, Onin already got 59% on the board, got the diamond in hand, and a ton of iron too. So Geist is going to have to fight really hard to start bringing this back. I like how well Onin's playing out of shield too, just going for jabs and up tilts, not overcommitting, because this is a character you can never overextend against because she gets so much damage off even the smallest mistake.
Yeah, we see that angle on the ABK from Geist a lot too, just going off stage and then trying to hit you like sitting at the ledge. But that might not come into play if we see a lot of like the down smash tech that we see from Onin a lot too. So I think the ledge is going to be very important for both of the players here, and just getting around this wall too seems like it could be a problem, but just having that nice double jump height there and then being able to use the ABK just right over, not making it a problem for Geist so far.
Yeah, one thing I always notice when I'm watching an Onin set is they are so tricky when it comes to their ledge trap setups. Like we just saw right there, 3 blocks high and then waiting at the top of it with diamond back air. Because, you know, Bayo loves to jump off the ledge. So Onin's like, hey, if you do that thing, I'll kill you right now. And even though that didn't work, we know that Onin just has like an infinite playbook. But as I say that, Geist able to find the bear from the left side of the stage and take the first stock there. So we do have a lead, but Onin is back in the action with not only a lot of iron, but diamond already crafted. So no time to get comfortable.
For sure. Right, some big damage here for Geist, getting that fair really high up there in the blast zone too. A little scary if we had a little bit more percent. Up till into up B, getting some more percent here. Not able to finish it, but still getting a ton of damage. You were so on the money. Being able to witch time that minecart is huge. There's so little most of the cast can do about it, but being able to not only like neutralize such a big tool to get out of disadvantage, but also get confirms from it is massive for Bayonetta. So that is going to be really, really helpful. Yeah, but seeing the minecart take that stock there from Geist instead, I think being able to get like a read on when Onin is planning on staying in the minecart or jumping out could give Geist a very good advantage. But so far, it's been a really good mix-up from Onin. Yeah, and I just love this planking that we're seeing from Geist, just not wanting to get back onto stage too quickly, worried about like potentially the up tilt into back air confirm, or just like these back airs and fairs that we're seeing instead.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my Lord. And Bats Within going to be super clutch. I think a lot of people would have lost that interaction, especially extending the hitbox on the blocks. But Geist going to be able to survive. But the minecart, after everything is said and done, taking the second stock. Onin really, really low on iron here, but still got the diamond. And honestly, putting those walls up so Bayo couldn't escape was very smart. And they get a nice 41% as a bonus there.
Yeah, I think that Geist was trying to aim that back air at Steve's head, but just barely misspacing that and taking the minecart instead. 58% here on Geist. Oh my gosh, that shield pressure.
Yes, and obviously we know that the knockback from diamond moves, especially F smash, is crazy, and Bayonetta's not the heaviest, so now that we're not even in 50s, but we're in like the 80s area, all kinds of things go wrong for Geist.
Get out of there.
Leave. You have to go. But again, like I said, Onin has tons of ledge traps. Now trying to sneak in the down smash, which is really, really smart. Not able to find it yet, but a lot of damage from Geist release confirms. Ooh. And if we see the end of this combo, this could do it, and Geist does it and takes the first game against Onin.
That witch time was so smart there from Geist, calling out the anvil.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say is that, like, Anvil and Minecart are so crazy as far as options go, getting at a disadvantage, but being able to counter both of them, if you can actually deal with that, Steve doesn't really have like a third best way to get down to the ground. So yeah, that's huge. I'm a little concerned because I feel like if it's Witch Twist and Anvil, that can get really bad. But I think Witch Time, just waiting for Onin to panic out a disadvantage, which is Bayo's. We all would panic there. That's massive.
All right.
I like the block placement too. Setting up a block just a little bit past short hop height, because you know Bayo loves to, like, you know, ABK right at your face and get huge combo started, or even just like fall in with like some neutral airs or any of those other combo starters. But taking that option off the table is really smart. It worked out really well for Onin yesterday against Mude, so I'm sure Bayo's in the same boat.
Yeah, we saw in the Geist, J-Jaw said that Geist is just very comfortable with waiting, just taking his time, sitting on the platforms. Oh my gosh, so much damage here.
That
killing
should
off the top, yeah.
Wow.
Great combo there from Geist.
Yeah, fantastic combo from Geist. Only 82% and only 2 interactions, so this is a really big start for Geist. They're on a tear.
I think the biggest thing between like this and the J-Jaw set, though, is like a lot of the time when you're waiting on the other side of the stage, it's giving Onin time to mine. So I think staying outside of the burst range of Steve, but still making like a little bit of pressure is the best option. And we're kind of seeing that here, like not in the range where you could see like that burst F smash or the minecart. Now an opportunity for some damage here for Onin, but that Witch Twist, again, just really good out of shield option for Geist.
Yeah.
Gives him some nice percent.
And like Steve is pretty good on your shield anyway. Like up tilt is crazy, jab is also crazy, but a move like specifically Witch Twist, there's only so many up Bs out of shield that can really handle it, but that looks like it does. And yeah, you're right. Being able to wait away from like F smash and minecart and stuff, but still get pressure like we saw in the beginning when it was dirt blocks with Geist just going for like down tilt or just any like bullet arts just to like kind of like break the blocks for free.
Ooh.
Was really smart. So was that up smash, but just not charged enough to take the stock.
All right, now trying to get out of the corner here, but Bayo, again, just having that really strong recovery, just using the dive kick there to get around the setup that Onin's setting up.
Ooh,
I do like that coverage of the ledge, too, forcing a high recovery here from Onin, but that back air just so strong, too. So Geist with a pretty sizable lead now, 3 stocks to 1, and just running to the other side of the stage, taking time and giving himself a little reaction time with the minecart, too, so that he's not getting hit with the burst right in Onin's face.
Yeah, I mean, this is going really, really well for Geist. What I want to say that's awesome is that, like, Onin has tried a different, very strong ledge setup every single time that Geist has been off stage, but every single time Geist has chosen a different option and survived it. So, like, they're both adapting to each other really, really, really well. It's just that Geist, in this match so far, is getting way more bang for his buck just because you see those witch twists, those up tilts, or these witch times, and they're leading to such huge damage, like we nearly saw right there off that minecart.
Love that grab there from Geist, too, just immediately recognizing Onin's shield. But this is so much damage, potentially. I do love the way that Geist is dancing around these platforms, too, just making it a lot harder to punish his landings.
Yeah, even right now, again, fishing for that back air at the top of the blocks. Geist, like you said, very, very patient. A lot of people are not patient enough to deal with Steve as a character, especially Onin. Onin is so good at forcing panic options out of people, but Geist is perfectly fine to take his time, knows he has that lead, and the risk reward is awful because that diamond back air would just shred her stock anywhere after like 75.
Yeah, just sitting there waiting at the ledge, does not want to try to force an approach when he's up a stock, recognizing that that diamond back air is such a huge threat.
Yeah, we don't have another diamond crafted yet either, so honestly, there's a good opportunity here for like maybe the diamond tools to break soon. We do still have gold mine, but other than that, Geist about to lap in percent. You see Onin just trying to throw those back airs out and trying to catch those ABKs, which it's a great hitbox. It's a great idea, but I think the timing's just off. And again, Anvil at a disadvantage, getting witch timed and giving Geist a huge opportunity.
Yeah, and it looks like the witch time's a little stale now, just using it a lot on these projectiles, but really working out. I mean, even that up smash was a ton of percent, even if it didn't kill.
Oh, the block literally bailing him out from that double ABK. That could have been bad, but unfortunately, Onin just whiffing the up smash, and Geist not going to let that slide. So now, game one was really, really close. That one was a 2-stock, and things are looking really, really good for Geist right now.
Geist just always feels so comfortable in those type of situations where he's up a lot of percent and up a stock, because then he no longer has to approach, and that's where he kind of thrives, like making you make the first move and then going for the punish. I think that Bayo is one of the strongest like with punish characters, and so Geist is definitely displaying that, especially in that game.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about it a lot. Like, it's so hard to take a lead back from Steve because, like, once Steve is up a stock and some change, like, oh man, I'm setting up the walls, I'm buffing myself, I'm getting diamond, you're starting to panic, you're running into up tilt, all these things. But because Geist is able to laser focus on that first stock in the first 20, 30 seconds of these, and is able to, like, force Steve to approach, because minecart is getting countered so hard, I haven't really seen Steve struggle to approach too much. Normally he makes you, but yeah, he does kind of struggle in that department a little bit.
Yeah. And he's one of the characters that gets a lot stronger throughout the game as he's mining those diamond tools too, so it can be very hard to deal with him in later game, but when you have that extra stock to work with, you kind of get to slow down the pace, and it makes it a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, so let's see if maybe we can see some changes here for this third game. And this is loser side, so Onin now on their tournament life here. We've seen Onin adapt to crazier things for sure, so never discounting Onin in any possible way, but
Absolutely not.
I do see Geist honestly potentially going on an even greater run than we've already seen, just making it to the top 8. I like that. Once again, using bullet arts to like bully the TNT, it breaks all the dirt blocks, and you don't even see Geist like seeing that there's like a gap for heel slide and going for it. They're perfectly fine to just wait.
For sure.
Here we go.
Okay, big damage here though. Ooh, the up airs.
Getting saucy. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Almost killing there in that top last zone, but now just going for the grab instead. Okay, I like that there from Onin, instead using the anvil to just drop it instead of taking that up air once again. Oh my gosh.
And you see that Onin is making different decisions. At that point, just being able to SDI really far to the top left to escape that Bayo combo, but definitely not autopiloting with like Anvil or minecart. And we're already seeing a closer game just because of that.
Okay, now Geist trying to cover this landing, but I like that there from Onin going back towards the ledge, but Geist just ready to call it out with the back air instead. And now this is the lead that we were talking about. Onin definitely needs to try to close this out so that Geist cannot continue with this really patient playstyle that we saw in the last game.
But even as you say that right there at the ledge, I mean, we saw forward air spike was an option. You saw the anvil on the dirt block, but Geist is just like, I'm just going to take my time. I do think there's a little bit of counterplay to that because, like, the ledge hang hasn't been punished that much yet, and that's a huge opportunity for Steve, especially with a move like down smash or down tilt. But yeah, Geist still in the driver's seat here, 51% already. Again, Onin's putting up great blocks defensively to prevent her from, like, coming in with ABK, but Geist is just really threading the needle and finding these openings regardless.
I love that there from Geist, just the run-up shield and waiting for Onin to strike first. Getting a nice damage there, but now getting out of the corner and avoiding this back air.
Whoa!
Ooh, yeah.
Onin said, I'll blow all this up right now.
We bring the boom!
I bring the boom. Ew, I bring the boom!
Sorry.
Yeah, the Rizzler over here. He brought the boom, got that stock for it. That's crazy. All right, we saw the first hit of Witch Twist, which can up tilt, excuse me, which can lead to so much from Bayo. Wasn't able to confirm it, 121%, but we do have Onin with the diamond tools, and I've seen Steve get so much damage off an up tilt, like we're seeing right now, 58% out of nowhere, and now we're in kill percent. If we find one errant, like heel slide or ABK, diamond F smash can honestly just put things right on his favor.
I love the burst of the ABK from Geist as well, just staying at that range where it perfectly hits right on top of Steve's head. A nice confirm there as well. So now Geist at 69% on the second stock, and just trying to do this kind of campy movement that we see a lot, just jumping a lot and staying patient, looking for that opportunity to find the ABK or a combo starter, but not wanting to get all up in Onin's face. As I say that, just ABKing in anyway and getting a nice 32% off of it.
Yeah, overall, it actually looks like ABK and Witch Time are just like pretty big problems for Steve. Like, I never really see Steve struggle above his shield because up tilt's such a factor, but I think Witch Switch just keeps beating it out, and that's such an important like defensive tool to have that I think is just kind of offline right now in this set.
I see that from Geist all the time too. Like, it looks like he's going towards center stage and then he air dodges back to the ledge and just making his landings very ambiguous, which is like one of the problems with Bayonetta. She has a lot of that special landing lag, but Geist's movement is just so strong at mitigating that.
Oh, this could be it. Forward air or neutral air is going to do it. And Geist is able to get the upset over Onin 3-0 and moving into that top 5. I think that matchup was just played so well from Geist. And Onin had a lot of great ideas. You even got to see, even on that last stock, just being like, all right, I'm just going to set up a few 3-block height walls, just prevent her approaches. Like, I feel like all the wheels were turning for Onin, but just the bang for your buck on when an interaction would actually happen was just very skewed in Geist's favor that time, and I think that's really was just the big difference maker.
Oh yeah, that was so nice there from Geist.
Yeah, just being able to find all these combos off the top, and Steve is someone you don't see bullied in this position very often, but I guess Bayonetta is one of the very few characters that can really do it.
That can like actually get up there.
Yeah, right. Like, you see him at, you see Steve at like the top blast zone, you know they're just gonna eventually anvil or something. Another thing I like too is Steve is so good about setting up a block and F smashing you through it, but Bayo's F smashes and her smash attacks in general are bigger, so you can actually outrange Steve in that position. So even when Onin started trying to set that up, it didn't work out, and that was such a beautiful finisher to everything.
A whole split